Hey guys, this is Tiffany, and I'm with the Nerdettes, and I'm back to talk about more Black Mirror. Because obviously, this latest season so far, like some of these episodes are crazy. I've watched all of them. My favorite so far is USS Callister, obviously, but this new one is season 4, episode 2, Archangel, and I'm actually reviewing these like right after I watched them. So I wanted to kind of just share what goes on with this episode and just different thoughts and everything as I kind of went through it. So essentially, it starts out like really normal, woman at the playground with her daughter, watching her play on the swing set. Another mother's there. They get in a discussion. Her little girl goes missing. So because of this and this extreme like terror and losing her daughter, when she goes missing, she decides to get an implant put in, like, and we've seen this with a lot of Black Mirror, like that little kind of almost looks like a little, almost like a small earbud, or like almost like the size of a small like watch battery, tiny, that she puts in her to track her. And so Sarah is her daughter, and she puts it in her so she can kind of monitor her with whatever she does. Now, this implant is experimental, so it's free. And what's more is it has different abilities. Like it has the ability to like rewind, and of course, like as we've seen before with this technology, it also has the ability, which we've kind of seen similarly before with like blocking people or blurring out who you don't want to see. She can blur and obscure her from seeing anything that terrifies her, like we see with the dog. Like the dog, this big dog, like that barks at her, terrifies her. So she puts this like parental control on to be able to kind of, I guess, baby her and kind of obscure that from her. So you can filter out a lot of negative things. So something that happens very badly one day while Marie, which is the mom, is at work. She's like a nurse, I believe. Uh, the She has her father, Sarah's grandfather, watch her, and he starts having like heart trouble, and he falls over. Well, the filter is still on, so all Sarah sees is like, him kind of on the floor, but he's pixelated, so she can't really tell he's in danger or anything like that. Well, when her mom just happens to check in, she sees that the something's going on and it looks really weird, so she takes the filter off. Luckily, she removes it and sees that he's in danger, is able to make it in time and save him, so he's fine. But it's kind of scary. So there's a bit of a time lapse. Like you see the progression of her going from this tiny, like I think she's 6 years old. Sarah is at this point. We see this time lapse. She goes from like very young teen to full grown teenager, like 15 or 16, 15, sorry. And so the at this point the grandfather has passed. We see them visiting his gravesite. And the filter, unfortunately, like she's a teenager now, and the like the filter's still on, so she can't see her mom crying. She can't see the dog barking still. She starts like being like kind of, just because of the kids at school, like they're talking about these people bleeding and like these very violent like shows or YouTube videos that they've seen, and they're talking about them, and it kind of starts garbling what they're saying because that parental block is still on. And this is in like, I guess, like middle or like elementary school, when she's going to school. And she can't really experience it with them, so she tries to understand what blood is. Like she's never seen it, and like this kid has hurt himself, like one of her this guy at school, and it even pixelates then, so she can't see it. So she like cuts her finger, like she pricks her finger, and she barely kind of sees it as she pricks it with a pencil, and she like paints it on her face. and she starts like drawing people bleeding. Like she does like artwork and stuff, and she's like doing these drawings of people like being stabbed and bleeding, and it's kind of creepy. So at one point she actually smacks her mom. Like it gets pretty crazy. So at first I thought that the Archangel was going to be her, like it was going to be some sort of like demonic possession type thing, or like at first she sees a cat, Sarah does, so I was almost thinking like it was going to lure her into another portal or something, but as we learn, Arkangel is actually the company and that does the implant. So mom finally, at the point of her being a teenager, decides to take off the filter. Or actually, as an elementary kid, she takes off the filter. I'm sorry, I don't know why I thought I was a teenager. As an elementary kid, still, she takes off the filter and says, "You know what? Enough's enough. It's time for you to kind of experience the world and grow up and do things your own way, like I used to." So like she immediately, like, now that this filters off, she tells one of her other, like, her friends at school, and this guy like immediately like starts showing her porn. He shows her like multiple things, like murder and like, I mean, anything you can possibly imagine. She's like binge watching all of this. So like we go from porn to murder to like I guess acts of terrorism. Like it gets extreme. And I mean, she's in elementary school, so it fast forwards to her teen years, and we learn that this kid that is now still in school with her is still her best friend. His name is Trick, or he's referred to as Trick. And like their relationship has evolved from this kind of like friendship to like she has a crush on him, he has a crush on her, and a lot of stuff happens. So she like lies to her mom. She says, like, here we go, like that teen rebellion stage. She lies to her mom and says she's going to go out with her friend, and like we see her go to like this bonfire on a beach, and her mom, it also goes on she decides she's going to go on a date. Well, she gets home and Sarah's not there. She's trying not to think about it. Like, I want to give her privacy, but she like makes these phone calls to like just check on her, make sure she's okay, and she's not where she says she was. So of course, here we go, that parental thing. So she goes into the attic, gets the little, it's like almost like a tablet that she can monitor her on. She gets the tablet, pulls it up, and I'm expecting her to be like making out with dude. Or no, she's having sex. 15 years old, having sex with Trick. Yeah, and like she's using like porn phrases like "fuck me harder," and yeah, that's where her mom opens it up to. So, like I mean, major award to the mom. She doesn't say jack to her daughter, like nothing. I mean, like I said, major kudos to her, but she does go after like Trick eventually, but we'll get to that. Like Sarah actually also decides she wants to do cocaine, and like Trick doesn't want to let her do it. Like he's just kind of pushing it. He doesn't do it himself, but he's pushing it to kind of get some money. And so she finds it out. She wants to try some. He gives in because he loves her, and she tries it, and her mom sees this. Like she's not really realizing that it's her daughter's decision. Like she wants to like try to blame it on Trick. And yes, he's a participant, but at the same time, this is her daughter making these decisions. So she like looks at her memories, she sees where she finds out who he is, does like a face match, finds him online, finds where he works, goes there, and his real name is like Ryan Trebecker. And so she tells him to stay away from her daughter, to never have anything else to do with her, or she's going to turn him into the police. Like she has the video evidence of him having sex with a minor. She has, which can be considered, of course, statutory rape. She has evidence of him assisting her doing cocaine, like all this stuff. So Trick basically tells Sarah he doesn't want to be with her, and like Sarah, of course, is devastated. Like, this is the ultimate betrayal, because it's like, the guys that like to, for lack of a better way of putting it, hit it and quit it. He's kind of coming off like that. And so Sarah, after all this, goes through like this intense depression. She's very upset, like she won't eat, and she starts like throwing up and stuff. Her mom, obviously knowing what she's done, decides to make her this smoothie with this emergency contraception pill mixed into it. She goes to school, she gets sick, throws it up, and thinks she's like sick to her stomach or something, goes to the nurse's office. The nurse, after doing some tests, is like, well, you have no need to worry, the EC pill worked and you're no longer pregnant. So Sarah freaks out, runs home, empties out the garbage can, finds the empty box that her mom went to the pharmacy and got, and flips. Like, she goes into her mom's room, finds the tablet, and so just realizes, she goes back into the memories and sees that her mom knows about them having sex, knows about the cocaine and everything else that's happened. And like, her mom gets home, she's looking at the tablet, sees Sarah behind her. I swear to you guys, like, I got chills, because I thought Sarah was about to like go stabby and like kill her mom, and she almost does. Like, she gets the tablet and like bashes her mom's head in, like almost to death. Like, she goes crazy, she goes berserk, and like breaks the tablet. The screen is shattered. I almost thought it was gonna shatter with the filter on, because at one point during the bashing, the filter turns on, so all she sees is this pixelation of her mom's head as she's bashing it. So I thought it was going to be on permanently for like the rest of Sarah's life. So she ends up, the filter, luckily or unluckily, however you want to look at it, turns off. She sees like her mom is like bleeding profusely, is knocked out. She freaks out and runs away, and she ends up hitchhiking to get away. And her mom's okay. But yeah, that's how it ends. And like, what a crazy episode. Like, I mean, they have so much technology now. Like, they have that technology that you can put in like your car or your kid's car to like, find out their GPS location. Like, phones have like a track me function. There's actually, I know on a lot of family plans with like T-Mobile or AT&T, Verizon, whomever you have, there's a feature that you can add for some money, like a monthly type of subscription, where you can track your family members on through the phone, through like this app. I mean, there's a lot of things that are very similar nowadays, like not quite that intense where you can see what they see, but like, it's getting there like very quickly. So I mean, it really kind of poses that question, like, how much is too much to protect your children? What age? Should you allow them to learn more? Should you allow them to kind of learn for themselves? Like, we always want to kind of protect the children from too much cursing or too much violence, like in video games and everything. But of course, no matter what you do or we do, they're going to be exposed to it somehow, in some way, and sometimes a very bad fashion. So it's like, how that happens, it does. So I mean, it's kind of sad, like, and it happens at a young age nowadays. So it's really like, how much of a filter is too much? Like, is it, how much is a good thing? Like, it really draws those questions. So and here's the weird thing. Now, this episode, like, if you watch kind of the beginning of the credits, we learned that this episode was actually directed by Jodie Foster, like the Jodie Foster, the actress. So, wow, okay, what an interesting kind of twist and story. So, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of a crazy ordeal to kind of watch. So, I mean, it's right up to par with all the other stuff we've seen with this technology, where like the guy catches his wife cheating with it, like the Jodie Whittaker, matter of fact, our new doctor in Doctor Who, is that episode where he catches his wife cheating. Like we see this with Paradise Bay, where they use this even in death to connect the souls and the beings of these people that are deceased to each other. Like, I mean, this technology kind of repeats itself throughout the series, so in many ways, and in very interesting ways. So yeah, I mean, I am definitely still going to watch and review the rest of this season 4. There's a lot more to go, so really looking forward to it. Please feel free to check out our other reviews. We've done Stranger Things, which is also Netflix, of course. We've done, we're doing actually Star Trek Discovery and Ruby, and we're doing The Orville and Game of Thrones, and gosh, we're doing so much. Walking Dead, just basically all your nerd and geek shows. We love those. So we're also giving away this little bad boy, this NES Classic. So if you want to win, check out the giveaway video and how you can enter to win the NES Classic. And I am really excited to be able to give that away to you guys. And we have unboxings that you can check out and hopefully you'll enjoy. But please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the Nerdettes. And we really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.